There is a place where no one is seen as a stranger, where no one is ever faced with danger. A place that is gentle, kind and light, where nothing would ever trigger a fight. A place that is boundless and wide, where we walk with angels side by side. A place with smiles and happy tears, where our hearts are open and there are no more fears. A place where love is seen on every face and arms are open wide to embrace. A place where everyone measures the same, where you are true though, and yet no one knows your name. A place where mysteries are explored, where truth is accepted and never ignored. A place where those of old age are wide-eyed and still learning, where time seems to rewind and to youth we are returning.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well this morning. We are here in the Carolinas, beautiful weather today, beautiful fall-like weather. This has been some kind of week. But anyway, welcome to another session with my husband and myself. I'm Tony Sawyer. This is my husband, Clifton. If you've never been here before, we are the...
I don't know this
Are
girl.
you going to keep your mask on while we're doing this?
Yeah, why are you looking at me like that?
Why are you wearing your mask here right now?
So I would sneeze.
So you won't sneeze.
Mm.
Well, if you start sneezing, you can put it on.
Can I use your shirt to clean?
No, you cannot.
Well, I gotta find some way to.
But they've got to see your face. I mean, your hat's already hiding your eyes. You put the mask on, they won't see your mouth. So what are they going to see?
You. They don't need to see me. They need to see you.
Oh, really? Is that the truth? Well.
You're the best part of the show.
Oh, is this a show?
Yeah.
It's a show.
It's a show.
Really? I got my Ethiopian Bible out. I'm going to read something to you guys in just a little bit. If you've been keeping up with the news, then you know this week has been a crazy week. And the state of our union is not very good right now. But anyway, let's see who's here this morning. Let's see who's here. There is, I'm going to go backwards this time. There's Diaquilin. Hey, Diaquilin.
Hello out there, everybody.
Hello, Dee Dee. And George, if you're watching.
George and Dee Dee Hickbar.
And then there's Sandra. Hey, Sandra, good morning
Sandra
to you.
Hickbar.
John Greason's in the house.
John Greason
Kathy is here
Hickbar.
today. Hey, Kathy. And there's Vern. Hey, Vern.
Vern Hickbar.
And then Miss Sissy and my brother-in-law. Hey, y'all.
Brother-in-law,
Y'all doing
sister-in-law
good?
Hickbar.
Hope you all had a good night's sleep. I don't think I got enough sleep, but I could use
I could throw another
a
log.
little bit more. And there's Brother Blue in the family.
Brother
Hey,
Blue,
Brother
Hickbar.
Hope you're doing well. I assume you've gone back to work, and I hope you're doing good. There's Phyllis and Edward that just popped in.
And Phyllis Hickbar.
And Noel just popped in. Hey, Noel.
Noel. Hickbar.
Yes, it is a good morning. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here with us. Thank you, Sissy. She's letting me know she can hear and see us. I haven't had any breakfast. Let me drink me a little bit of coffee right here. Just a little bit. I'm still stirring it.
Well, you got the dog food sitting over there.
Yes, because baby girl's, where is she?
Over here.
She's not eating much today.
She's been sleeping like that for the last day or so.
Sleeping really a lot. So we don't know what's up with that. But she just ran and played in the yard, so I guess she's okay. She just didn't want to eat. Let me get a sip.
A sip. She said a sip.
It's good too. It's good. Good, but hot. Who's happy birthday? Oh, Jill's birthday.
Yeah, you must be 142.
Sissy said happy birthday, Jill. Did Jill come in? I didn't see her come in here today, but she may be somewhere celebrating. But anyway, happy birthday, Jill, if you're listening. Happy birthday. You've got something good to share with us today.
I'm going to do it just right here.
I know you probably do.
You think?
Uh-huh. I want to do this before we get started. And this baby girl. Hold on a sec, baby. Baby. Oh, you're turning your back to us. I don't know what that is. But anyway, I want to do this morning. We haven't done this in a while. I want to do a meditation, contemplation, prayer. And I think it's befitting to do this morning. Good morning, every man.
Robert J.
Robert Mayer, we
Jr.
missed you last week. You and Dee, and hope you had a good trip. We did miss you. And Jill, that's Jill. Hey, Jill.
Jill,
That's such a pretty picture.
Jill, that ain't you on that
It is.
picture.
That's
That's
now you know why her daughters are so pretty, because she really is a pretty lady.
That picture of you on there, that's your cousin I'm looking at.
Yeah, you know, now I know why the girls are so pretty, because she's pretty too. Yeah. Yeah, I want to do this affirmation meditation. We've done it before, but I just want to go through it again. And then we're going to kind of jump into some things. I don't know if we want to talk about the things that have been happening in the country. If we want to touch on that or not, we may. It's really been something going on, a lot going on. I don't know about all that either. But anyway, they're wishing you happy birthday. Let's see if I can put the comments on the screen so they can see it.
I just put it like this.
So she can see those.
Whatever
comments.
happened, they asked for it.
Well, yeah, they did, but I don't want to say that either. I don't want to say that. But anyway, everybody's wishing you happy birthday, Jill, and Jill just said thanks, guys. Thanks. Let's do this meditation and affirmation. It's a little lengthy, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt us to do this morning. I think we need to do this to pull ourselves into, to remind ourselves, I should say. Remind ourselves of why we're here and as what we are here. And also want to wish Pastor Norman a birthday. He had a birthday on Friday, didn't he, honey? And we want to wish him a happy birthday. And hope he had some fun for his birthday. And so you guys are in the chat. You can see that on the screen now. If it gets distracting, let me know, and I will remove that from the screen. But I wanted you guys to be able to see that. All right, this that we're going to do now is beingness. It's called beingness. I wrote this about 2 years ago in my quiet time and contemplation. And I use it for myself, so I want to use it for us. This is how we came into being. This is how we all came into being. Yesterday, we were talking about the different things that were taking place in the country. And then we also mentioned that we were saying that where dwells the love of God? We were talking about that.
Yeah.
And
see a brother in need and shut up your bowels of compassion, where dwelleth the love of God.
And you made a statement. You said God is in every man. And then I came behind you and I said, God not only is in every man, but he is every man. But they don't know who they are.
And this is not based on getting something, receiving something, finding something. It's not based on going to church. It's not based on a confession.
No.
It's based on the fact of the investigation of near-death experiences.
Yes.
People that have died and gone over and come back.
Yes.
I even have some of the similar experience, and I know for sure that once this body stops, that is not the end of us.
No,
so
it's
that
not
puts
the
us,
beginning of us, nor is it the end of us. The body is not.
That definition of eternal life that we've been getting out of the books is not fully implemented in the definition of eternal life.
Now hold on hold on to that, Pastor. We're going to talk about it a little bit more. Good morning, Ollie. Glad you're here. You and Yo-Yo. I hope she's doing well. She looks good. So I'm glad to see you with us this morning. But let's do this. Give me a moment to get myself together here so we can just kind of gear down. I want you to take a deep breath in, if you would. Center yourself and release it now. Take another deep breath and release it. And let all tension go with it, all concerns go with it. Let that breath flow out as that negative energy just leaves you now. Let's take one more breath in. And now release it. You can repeat after me, or you can simply listen, whichever is easiest for you. Thoughts in the mind of God emerge from infinity into awareness of being. From omnipotent energy, a body was created, and all that is projected itself into it. Identification with this created form brought into being a veil of forgetfulness, which is hiding who is this I am, hiding where it came from, hiding from whom it originated. The experiencer of all things impermanent, the perceiver of objects, of time and of space, was born. A seeker who is searching for fulfillment and purpose, being saturated with linear experiences, disillusioned by the comings and goings of all experiences. There is now a longing for rest, contentment, true happiness, which can only be found in that which is permanent. A longing for the final experience, the death of the ego, the death of the sense of a separate self, the death of the concept of being a limited person, which is seen only as that which has been believed about itself. From that longing to be united with the source of all that is, arises a determination to remain in the present moment, leaving the past in the past. A determination to not project into a future which does not yet exist. And as the belief in separation collapses, the union and oneness with everything and everyone becomes apparent. This is the discovery of the omnipresent being, only here and aware. Simply a being of loving awareness, an extension of source energy with the same attributes as the all that is, perpetually moving from being something and somebody to being only presence. Imagined by God, merging back into infinity, from where and from whom all things originated. We are home. And so it is. And so it is. All right. All right. Good morning, Brother Kessler. Good morning, Yvette. And I think I said John Griston's in the house, and they're saying happy birthday to Jill. Good morning to you guys. Okay. You want to jump into something? You're looking for something? Yeah. Yesterday, while watching some of the news stuff, and I'm not going to go into all of it, but it's probably overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff already. But while watching some of that,
I got it.
You want me to hold off on this?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. For those of you who don't know, two things I learned this week. That the leader of Islam, I'm not talking about Farrakhan, I'm talking about Muhammad, was not a black man, he was a white man. First, I found that out. So the Muslim religion was started by a white man. Anyway, and then the other thing that I learned this week is that the book of Zephaniah, written by the prophet Zephaniah was a black prophet. And I don't know why this is befitting again while I'm in this mode. I don't know why I'm in this mode, but I am in this mode of the origin of humanity and the validity of every race, I should say. And so therefore I started at the beginning, and the beginning started with the black race, the Ethiopians. So here, Zephaniah was an Ethiopian. He wrote the book of Zephaniah. And so I picked it up, and in the Ethiopian Bible, it's only one chapter, or I should say one page, because it's not chapter and verse like the King James Version. But he was prophesying, and his prophecy fit what we're experiencing right now when I read it. So I want to read it to you guys, if that's okay with you, Pastor. I want to read it to you guys. I have to take my glasses off so I can see.
Need those other glasses?
No, I'm good. I'm not going to read everything in it because some of it, I don't want it to sound overly religious, overly judgmental, but it reads that way. So I want you to realize that I'm not saying that. Anyway, I'll read it and then we can talk about it a little bit. But I'll start here, and it says, the Lord is preparing a sacrifice, and his day is near. That day will be dark and bitter, filled with distress and devastation. The people, blind in sin, will stumble. Their wealth, silver, and gold will not save them when God's burning jealousy consumes the land. There is still a sliver of hope. The prophet calls the humble to seek the Lord, to pursue righteousness and humility, that perhaps they may be sheltered on the day of his wrath. Judgment is declared against the nations surrounding Judah. And he lists a bunch of them: Philistia, Moab, Ammon, Cush, and Assyria. Once powerful cities like Nineveh, will be reduced to barren ruins. I took all of this and applied it to us today, and I applied it to our world today. Once powerful cities like Nineveh will be reduced to barren ruins. Their pride and mockery of God's people have earned their downfall. The coastlands will become places of peace for the remnant of Judah, and the Lord himself will visit them and restore their fortunes. Now, this is the part that really got me. Jerusalem, the city of oppression, is not spared. She has rejected correction, refused to trust in God, and her leaders are violent and corrupt. Yet the Lord remains just. Every morning he brings justice to light, though the wicked feel no shame. Despite the judgment of other nations, Jerusalem has not learned. So the Lord will rise in fury, gather the nations, and pour out his anger. But then comes a turning point. Now, if you guys kept up with anything that happened this week, you know that the young man that was killed, he formed an organization called the Turning Point. And when this jumped out at me, I went, oh my God, Zephaniah is prophesying to us today.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes a turning point. God will purify the lips of the people so they may call on him together. The scattered will return, and a humble remnant will live in peace, free from lies and fear. Joy will erupt in Zion, and God will be among his people, mighty to save, rejoicing over them with singing. He will gather the outcasts and restore the lame and give them praise among all the nations. When I read that little portion right there, I said, oh my God, Zephaniah is prophesying to us today. The Black prophet is prophesying to us today.
That's right.
The turning point. He said, then comes a turning point. This is a turning point.
Mm.
Tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about that.
Okay. Well, deep subject.
It is. It is. It is.
Once you sit in the chair of God's identity, you will know what to do and understand the fullness of the Christ self.
Can you say that again, Pastor?
I heard that repeated inside before you
Yes.
said it.
Can you say that again?
Once you sit in the God identity chair, you will know what to do, and the fullness of the Christ self is what reveals the full package. I added some more to it.
You did. You did. You did.
And the reason why I'm saying this is because for 50 years, I wanted to preach like I thought preachers were supposed to preach in the church. And so I adopted that system. But after I got older and understood what the definition of the Christ self was, it's almost like my inside switched over and changed. Now, my wife and I, investigated into near-death experiences, almost what we would call day one.
Mhm.
I was always affirmed in myself that once a body is put in the grave, that's the end of us.
Yes. Well, we all think that we started with our bodies. We thought we started with our bodies, um, and that we ended with our bodies.
And we're not talking about what we read, what we believe, faith, confession,
Mhm.
and accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior and being a child of God. What makes you a child of God has not anything to do with church and religion.
No, no,
Or does it have anything to do with accepting or not accepting Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior? Now, hold on now. When I found out that every man, every being in a body, the definition of that true self is in a God class that is defined as eternal beings that was never born and can never die,
yeah.
based on the definition of the word eternal life. Now, these are words. I'm talking about experience now. And I'm not talking about experiencing demons, devils, and dark entities and walk ins. We've studied all about the demons, the devils, and demon possession. We've seen it.
Mhm.
We've been set free from a lot of things ourselves. And it always come back to the true definition of what the 11th chapter of John, if it is in the Bible or not. It don't have to be. I found out who we really are in our true identity cannot ever be diminished, destroyed, annihilated, or wiped out.
Yes.
I'm sorry if you've been trapped. See, this thing in this dimension is a strong hypnosis.
Oh gosh, it is. It's a trance. It really
It's
is
a
a hypnotic
trance
trance.
sickness of
It is a hypnotic
hypnosis
trance. Yes. Yes.
that gives off the idea when you read the book that if a man, the question is, if a man died, would he live again? The answer to that, if the body die as the man don't have to live again because he is eternal from the start.
He is life. Yeah. Man is life.
He,
Yes.
we are the eternal life with a mind that's trapped
In the hypnosis.
in the hypnosis.
Yes. Yes. Robert says, here's some truth you can rely on. Life is not something that we try on.
That's right.
If you're right, then brother shine on, just make love the hill you die
Now, I can, if you through the spirit, your eternal self, mortify the deeds. Mortify comes from the word definition of mortuary, mortician,
on.
like cement between two bricks. When that cement dries, it mortars, it mortifies, it hardens, and it set the two bricks together, and they are stuck. If you through the spirit find out, that spirit show you your true self revealed to your head from the heart, that you can never be diminished, wiped out, destroyed, or left on the side of the road dead.
Mhm.
You can't die. I'm telling you, you can't die. If I make my bed in hell, David said, he is there. For him to be there, he has to be eternal. Hell is not the end of an eternal spirit. It relocates you depending on the way you handle yourself.
Mm.
But it does not stop your existence as an eternal self.
Right.
I'm going to say this all the way to the dirt.
To the dirt.
Excuse me, to the dirt that is pulled out of the ground to put a casket in. I've seen actually at eulogies, funerals, the procession when the family come in, I turned by the grace of God and looked, and the deceased is walking with the family coming into church.
Speaking of that, I wonder what Charlie Kirk felt, what he experienced when he came out of his body.
I can tell you part of
He
it.
was watching the whole thing, wasn't
He was shocked.
he? Mm-hmm.
The first thing hit his body was pain.
Mm-hmm.
He had to deal with the issue of what happened, and he was in dismayed confusion for a moment.
Look at the camera.
What is it?
I want you to look at the camera so they can see your face when you're talking.
He was in a state of confusion because the sudden burst of the experience
knocked him out of the body.
Knocked him clean out of his body,
Mm-hmm.
and he was in a state of confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you what I know from experience of investigation into the science of near-death studies.
Okay.
And I know that it took him a while after that bullet hit his neck.
Mm-hmm. Or whatever it hit.
Whatever it hit.
Yeah.
He left in confusion and finally woke up and looked back and saw what was going on, unless the minute that bullet hit his neck, he went straight in the other side for rehab and rehabilitation for his next assignment.
Right.
But he is still now under what is called due process.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch this. In my experience with this.
And his reason for going the due process is because of his beliefs.
Yeah.
The beliefs that he had, that he held, they have to be dealt with.
I don't know why people won't talk about this kind of stuff, because there's some people out there have been through this and did not die, have been messed up like that worse than he was, and came back to tell exactly what happened to him.
Right. But you said he's going through due process.
He's going through due process, and I'll tell you why. Because the things that he said and did had to be dealt with from his facilitators, his angel, and whoever it was that he met after he was shot outside of his body.
Because coming out of our body, we're immediately faced with the truth. The truth.
I talked to a man named Dr. George Ritchie.
He wrote a book,
Richmond,
called
Virginia.
Return from Tomorrow. Dr. Ritchie's no longer in the earth plane.
Dr. Ritchie said he was taken out of his body and was, by the Lord, took him into
a parallel universe.
Yes, and took him into a place where what do you call it? Where people get.
He was in a bar. He was in a bar. He
in a bar.
Well, the Lord didn't necessarily take him. When he came out of his body, he began to go to different places.
And he said he sat there and saw a man that was addicted to alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And when that man reached a certain point, sitting beside him in this bar, a walk-in spirit went into this man's body and fed on the alcoholism in that body.
Mhm.
And when the man got so drunk, intoxicated, that walk in the spirit, that walk in the spirit left him because it was fed off of what the man did.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
had people
Yeah.
talk to me I traveled all around the country when I was able to move like I wanted to. And I talked to people who have had these experiences, but they couldn't talk about it in church because the people in church and religion were stuck in the hypnosis that the end of this body is the end of them.
Mhm. Mhm.
And the
Or
question
that they are their bodies.
that they,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
and the question was answered on the real rational experience, unbelievable truth dawned on them
Mhm.
that what they were taught when they was on this earth about life after death
Mhm.
was totally different
Well, not
than
only,
what they were taught from
and
the book.
yeah, and not only life after death. I mean, we have been lied to about so many things
Yeah,
in religion. And the truth is, no religion is absolute in its teachings,
yeah.
because we all in the Bible says we see through a glass darkly.
Mhm.
So everything's kind of pieced together. It's kind of like when we were watching the news about Mr. Kirk, Charlie Kirk. Everything at the end of all of his, after he was shot, everything was pieced together,
Mhm.
and it's been still pieced together. And I think that because the truth has been pieced together, even when they found the scrolls, it wasn't a complete writing. They
No,
had to piece it together. We have only had pieces of truth, and so all of us have interpreted it differently, and it's caused so much division and chaos, actually. And so we try to think, when we come into the Christian religion, we try to think, well, I know this is the absolute truth right here, this is it.
yeah.
And we don't realize it's still pieces. It's still pieced together.
I stood in the rest home and saw my mother at 96 years old. She went into a process of long, deep breaths before she left her body.
They have a word for that. I can't remember what they call
It's
it.
kind of like sleep apnea breathing. And I walked in and she had taken a long, deep breath. She breathed in. And then that's why she breathed out.
Mhm.
And I used to tell her all the time what would happen to you when you got ready to cross over or leave your body. When I would be in the emergency room with her, a lot of times I would be talking to the doctors about life after death and what happens. She would be laying on the cot listening to me talk to them.
Mhm.
Now, the blind side of this is I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to hear this because if you die, if you really die, you don't come back. That's not true.
That's true. That's right. That's right.
My brother, y'all heard me talk about him, Joe, what was his name? He left because he had cancer of the throat. He died. He could not breathe after they brought him home. And y'all heard me tell the event many years ago that when he was at home, they brought him home too early. They had surgically removed his larynx, his voice box. But Joe choked and could not breathe. When I went to the house, they called me on the emergency. I went to see what was going on. My wife and I went over there.
Mhm.
My brother was put out of the, taken off the bed and laid on the floor
Or
with
his
his
body
eyes
was. His
open.
body was.
His
Yeah.
body was.
Mhm.
The policeman walked in the room and I started talking to Joe, and his body eyes was wide open. And the policeman standing there heard me talking to my brother. And he told me, he said, I know what you are doing. And I kept telling my brother Joe, I said, Joe, I tried to get it through to you of what would take place. I talked to you about this. I had no idea that during the process of preparing his body at the funeral home, I didn't know that my brother from the other side was going to communicate with me and my niece
Yeah.
sitting on the
Yeah.
front row.
And he did. And he did.
And we were looking for something of a title to an automobile and we couldn't find it. My brother Joe from the other side told us to go in his room, his bedroom, and said it detailed with the title to the car that we were looking for.
Mhm.
We couldn't find it. He told us exactly where it was.
So that proves that Joe still lives. Joe,
He still
but
existed.
not necessarily as Joe, but he is still
No.
there. And so now I want to mention this. This is Pastor, you need to hear this because Jill's bringing this up. She said she just watched a near-death experience yesterday and also watched Aaron Lyons, who channels Charlie Kirk. And he said his life purpose was fulfilled because he wanted people with different opinions to talk. He said his conditioning caused him to speak erroneously.
Oh, that's what I just said.
Now that, thank you, Jill, for sharing that.
Thank you, Miss Jill.
Thank you for sharing that.
Now that's the Christ consciousness that's thinking.
Yes, it's important. I'm gonna read it one more time so you guys will get this. Get it, because like I said, everything's been pieced together. And so we not only everything has been pieced together that we've been given or presented to us as truth, but not only that, it comes through the lens of our conditioning, the things that I have experienced in my lifetime and have been exposed to, and everything that I've been taught and believed. It filters through all of that. So listen to this. Just watched a near-death experience yesterday. Watched Aaron Lyons. I've never heard of Aaron Lyons, but I'm going to look at it. He said Aaron Lyons, who channeled Charlie Kirk. And he said his life purpose was fulfilled because he wanted people with different opinions to talk. Now, that's a great desire.
Mhm.
But then he said his conditioning caused him to speak erroneously. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. And then she says, it just dawned on me that your brother channeled through your niece.
Say what now?
Your brother channeled through your niece.
Sure did.
Mm-hmm. I was on the fence about it at first, but listen to Aaron anyway. Thank you, Jill. Thank you. Your brother channeled through your niece.
I got it.
Mm-hmm. That was good. That's good. That's good. I never thought about it that way, Jill. Thank you. And then Robert says this. He said, if you disagree with me and I disagree with you, that just means we're free to be the way that either one will choose. If we don't like the words we say, we're both free to walk away and show the world we lead the way by what we do, not what we say. It's important that we understand that even though it was a horrendous thing and it was a terrible way for a person to exit their body, it was divinely ordained that this should come forth for us to even discuss this now.
Mhm.
And to not have animosity or hatred or pointing fingers or any of that kind of stuff. But what Jill said, and I want to read it one more time because I think it's very important that we get this. She watched this young man or this gentleman channel Charlie Kirk, and he said that Charlie Kirk, his life purpose was fulfilled because he wanted people with different opinions to talk. Now, that's a great desire to have.
Yeah.
That if that was the motivation, that's a wonderful motivation. That's a very spiritual and loving motivation. But then he said his conditioning caused him to speak erroneously. He said things that were not necessarily true or beneficial, things that were harmful because of his conditioning.
Erroneously, what can we say the definition of speaking erroneously?
In error, based on things that I believed, but they were not necessarily true.
True.
Things that I embraced that were harmful, that were not necessarily, but that were not beneficial for other people.
That's the rehab I was talking about. He had to go and find out in this experience the truth about what he was telling people on this side that was not necessarily.
And that's the due
truth.
process that you're talking about.
Yeah.
The due process is he had to face his own errors that he spoke.
And everybody in the White House and the left side and the right side is going to experience this, not only them, but all of us.
Yes, yes.
Now, when I first started out studying this, I thought everybody went through a past life review. And in that past life review, it showed that some of them go back and experience the suffering that they inflicted on people by erroneously speaking the wrong truth about what happens after leaving the body.
Yes, yes, yes.
And now, look, we're not talking about something that's kindergarten. This is what I call grown folks talk. This is not kindergarten stuff.
This is eat your greens talk.
And have a little chitlins in there too.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I gotta check out this young man that Jill's mentioning, Aaron. I don't know of him. I haven't, I don't keep up a lot with channelers, although I don't judge them. I haven't done that. But Aaron Lyons is the young man that she's mentioning, and Sylvia is saying that she started to watch him, but she didn't listen. But now I'm glad that Jill brought that up.
What's she saying?
Jill said the NDE said he went through due process and also learned 10 things he learned. His spirit guide was his great grandfather that he never met.
Now, how many times have Miss Jill?
And Sylvia says Aaron is a female. So thank you, Sylvia. Yeah. Now that he did go through the due process.
Yeah.
So now this is the thing. All of those who are now idolizing him and seeing him as a martyr, and he is somewhat of a martyr, but those who have now deified him, they've spoken that his message and his turning point message was going to continue to go, and now they've become very, very militant.
Yeah.
Fighting with a lot of anger.
That's not what he wants now. At this point where he's at now, that's not his desire now, because he done found out that this militant gang of people that's trying to fight.
He realizes that wasn't the way.
He knows now that that's not the way to handle it. But you can't get that across to them over here because they under a trance of hypnosis, bitterness, and resentment, and all other things.
And it's their conditioning.
Yeah.
It's their conditioning. Yeah.
This world that we are talking from on this side is full of hell in itself because of the sleeping sickness of misplaced identity.
That's right. That's right.
More, I wanted to say that.
You wanted to say that? Let me read this one more time. Just the part where Zephaniah prophesied this to us. He said, but then comes a turning point. And for those of you who didn't hear this, the turning point is the name of Charlie Kirk's organization. Then comes a turning point. God will purify the lips of the people so they may call on him together. That brings unity. Purifying the lips, what they say, what they're speaking. And that's so important right now. Is we say things without really monitoring or being aware of the impact that our words are going to have on other people and how it's going to shape the minds of people. And now there are millions of young Gen Zs who now are being motivated by what Jill said. What did she say about being motivated now by his erroneous speaking?
Mm-hmm.
There are millions of young people motivated by his erroneous speaking. The things he said that were wrong, that were not good.
We would say like that, loose lips sink ships.
Yeah. So now we have a whole generation, not a whole generation, but a great majority of this generation who now believe the wrong thing and are willing to fight for it, fight people for it.
There are some movies that they made in Hollywood.
Wait a minute, before you go on, Leslie.
What is it?
Indy is a near-death experience, hon. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, here's what it says. By love serve one another.
Yes.
That's what I'm reading in the book.
Yes.
This is reading. By love, we need to go back and find a definition of love in its true state. Now watch this. For the law is fulfilled in one word, even this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself.
Yes.
All right, here it is.
Yes.
And when I looked at this, I understood over the years, they preach and teach and talk about you got to get more of this, more of that before you can walk with God. You got to clean up. You got to. Now, what happened to the young man? What he talked about, he went out the front door, come around the house, went in the back door, and it bit him in the butt. Yeah.
Well, let's say it differently. And I know what you're saying, but his words brought about what happened to him.
If he had not been talking like that, that never would have happened. Mm-hmm. But destiny.
Well, I don't think he perished for his Christian beliefs.
No,
I think he perished for his political beliefs.
He perished because of the erroneousness.
Mm-hmm. The errors.
That's right.
He perished for the errors.
Now here it is. When I read about this, I was taught that you got to get more love. You got to go in and pray more and seek God more and get more power to walk in the Spirit. But then I found out after studying near-death experiences and listening to what happened to me and paying attention to what happened to me years ago, the fruits of the Spirit, that's a capital S in here, meaning the higher self. Mm-hmm. The fruits of the eternal self is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. Here's the definition of that. Every man in the universe, true identity, based on Jeremiah the prophet. This is our true character and our true eternal self without addendums, without additives, without the monkey mind, without the jungle, the mess, the junk that's going on in this world. That don't mean that just because you done found out who you are as a Christian or Christian,
or not even as that, just as you who you are.
I'm going to slip over there, knock his head off, and then I'm going to slip back over and go into the hypnosis. I ain't did that. I didn't know nothing about that.
Pastor, let me say this: that what Jill put on here is very helpful, because what it says to me is when she channeled Charlie Kirk, and it was exposed what his purpose was. His purpose was to bring people together to talk about their different opinions. That in itself was a good thing. That was the good in him. That was the good in Charlie Kirk. The other things that were harmful to other people and harmful to different communities, those things are not Charlie Kirk.
That's right. That's right.
They are the
Conditionings.
They are the autonomous thoughts of his conditioning.
That's right.
So now he is not to be judged based on his conditions.
Now,
but to be noted that he had the right thing in his heart. But that tells me this, that all of us have this human side effect. We have good intentions, but when it comes through all of the things that we believe and have perceived in our lifetime and gone through, those good intentions get messed up. They get messed up. And that's what happened to him, and it's happened to it's happening now to a lot of us, a lot of people. And so then we find ourselves causing more harm than good. So I just want to say that I'm glad that we found out that his heart was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we needed to hear that. And Norman, thank you, sweetheart. He says, it becomes very challenging when we try to mix religious beliefs with today's politics. And oftentimes it's very dangerous. Yes, sweetheart. Yes, very much so. That's true.
When I was a little boy, I sat on the side of the bed when my uncle was sitting facing a big, giant pot-belly wood stove in the middle bedroom. He was sitting there eating a piece of chicken, drunk as a wheelbarrow with a square wheel on it and one handle with a brick on one side.
Mm-hmm.
I remember telling my uncle, as mean as he was and as good as his heart was, I said, God is going to get you.
We were that was what we used to say. I remember my dad was sitting on the side of the bed too one time. He was sitting on the side of the bed, and I was newly saved. I was crazy as a bed bug, crazy as a bat. And he's sitting there with a bowl in his hand, eating something on the side of the bed. And I took the Bible and threw it in his bowl. He just looked up at me like he was ready to kill me. I knew he was ready to kill me, but he wouldn't, because I was telling him the truth about about him being so wrong. So he didn't do anything to me, but he looked at me like, if I looked to kill, I'd have been dead. I threw the Bible in his bowl.
Oh Lord! Was he in the kitchen?
In the bedroom, sitting on the side of the bed.
Yeah.
Eating with the bowl in his hand. And I threw the Bible in his
Did
bowl.
it knock the bowl out of his hand?
It threw juice everywhere.
Oh Lord have mercy.
Oh.
So he's sitting there drunk as a wheelbarrow with a flat tire or a square wheel on it. And I told him, I said, God is going to get you.
Oh, gosh.
He would come in and drag my aunt out the bed by the heel. And he'd come in at night, and I didn't know nothing about the Bible. I couldn't even read. I'm a little boy. I told him, I said, God's going to get you.
We didn't know anything else to say to him. We just wanted them to change. We were tired of what they were doing. So that's
And,
just the
and
way it was.
it was like that.
Listen, we got Oliver. Hey, Ollie, I was wondering when you were going to chime in, young man. He said, every nation has good intentions, but bad, erroneous ideas based on separation.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely, Ollie. Absolutely. That's very well said. Thank you.
It is not important that you get somebody to agree with you. But I can tell you this. Let me go back and tell you what I saw.
Jill said when she was 7, she said all her dad's drunk friends were in the house, and she told them they were all going to hell.
It's funny now, but it ain't when you get out of your body.
She said, I think I shocked them sober. Nancy said, I hit my daddy with the word. Hit him with the word, I did. Diakonin says, most religious beliefs can align with politics on either side. That's right. That's right. You can make it fit. They are containers within themselves. The key is love beyond religion.
That's right.
And that's what is freedom. Yes.
When I found out how to forgive with the Christ heart, it went erroneously against.
Erroneously. No, that's a new word. What's erroneously?
It went hebo jabo erroneously against my feelings and my mind. I found out that in every man in the eternal Christ self, you've already forgiven everything that could happen to you on this dimension before you ever came into this world through the Christ self. Mm-hmm. Now that set me free from struggling trying to change people.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's not good.
That was the last to go in us trying to change people. But I
lost that.
But I noticed when we stop trying to change people, people start walking away from us.
Yeah, they sure did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because we've been told you got to take a stand, and if you don't, you're compromising.
No. Mm-hmm. I don't have no desire to mess with that.
No. And so that's why we know now that when you are fully awake, when you call yourself being awake, whatever that is, it can be a lonely walk because there are not a lot of people who are awake with you sometimes in the circles that you're running in. And it really feels like you're by yourself.
It was hard for us to accept the fact that in Galatians 2:20 in the book, it says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet not I, but Christ live. And the life that I now live in the flesh, I live by the faith of the Son of God. That's not a faith that you get from reading, studying, and find out the faith teaching you can have what you say and all that kind of stuff. I found out that this faith that Paul was talking about is already in every man in the eternal self, but every man do not know how to assess it.
What can you imagine? I'm trying to imagine it now. I'm trying to imagine what Charlie Kirk's life would have been like if he'd simply lived from the thing that was in his heart, where he wanted people to come together and talk and have the discussion without injecting his own beliefs.
Yeah.
I wonder what would have happened, which way his life would have gone. And he would have done a lot more good. Even now, we would be sitting here saying something totally different about Charlie Kirk.
That's right.
If he would just have lived from his heart without taking anything,
with all the other trash that was added to it,
without going through the conditioning, without filtering all of his thoughts through his
it's
beliefs.
over.
Yes,
the man is no longer in his body.
Yes,
I wished. Let me say this. I'm going to say it in the most respectful way that I can, and I'll go deep with respect for our government and our president, with great respect. But it will not rule out the fact that every man from the Democrats to the Republic and on this earth who have caused death to the bodies of people and caused them to leave their
And
bodies
and
and
hardships.
hardship,
Yes.
they are not cleared of the damage that they were doing or doing
Mhm,
to hurt people.
mhm.
Love does not hurt or kill, destroy. It says in the book that there's a darkness that kills, steal, and destroy, and it's not coming from the Christ self.
Yes, and that darkness is coming from our conditionings. It's coming from the erroneous beliefs that we've had. And so, yes, Jill, that is exactly what I was about to say. That the message is live from our heart and crucify those conditionings of separation.
When you automatically wake up to your true identity as the eternal self, you automatically crucify the false monkey mind. It doesn't stop it from existing as a thinker, but it does crucify it because it puts you in a true identity state that you can now look at it and not identify with the junk that's going through your head and the feelings that go through your body.
And that living from our hearts actually causes us to fulfill our purpose.
And Leslie, this is the reason why I said to your dad, he said the Lord told him he's going to walk. That's true. But his body is is not capable of walking now because his body has been used up. It's stopped. I'm not saying that God don't work miracles. I'm just realitizing, bringing to the realistic fact that your dad body is not capable of walking again unless the Christ self in him walked through his body. Remember, I told you about the glove. Once you put your hands in the glove, that glove is receiving the life of the hand. When you pull your fingers out of those fingers of the glove, that glove will go limp. And when it goes limp, that means you have left a certain part of your body. The energy that your dad had to go through his full body has receded, going back to his heart. And his heart is the only thing by the eternal spirit that's causing his body to still exist in the bed.
Yes.
He will walk, but he's going to walk away from that body
Yes.
when the time of his script is fulfilled. He will walk away from the body and turn around and look at it and evaluate everything that took place in your dead body before he got sick and even after his body got sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way. Yes, I've heard of people. I've prayed for people that was in wheelchairs and they got up and walked. I prayed for people who had back problems. All kinds of things happen over the years. But if they, as you get older and certain things come up in your body, it means that's the end of that. You got to walk out of it in your true identity. And that's exactly what's going to happen to your dad. He will walk out of his body. And when y'all see his body completely stop, he'll be standing right there in the room looking at y'all.
And we got some great comments, Pastor. I wanted to say this before I read the comments, that when we push our religious beliefs, our perceived way of living
Yeah.
on other people, it's harmful.
Yeah.
It's harmful.
It is very harmful.
Yes. Sylvia says this. Hey, my darling. She says, in this earth school, we find ourselves under a mass hypnosis. A lot of us produced by the media. And that's exactly right. Now, Oliver says, fear-based theology has always been and will always remain as a number one threat to humanity's sanity. Yes, it is.
Mhm.
It is. And unfortunately, most 99% of the theological views that we've had and heard are fear-based. They're all fear-based. And then Jill mentions this. The near-death experience spoke of earth being one of the hardest schools that teaches the best lessons. said we can use the media to be enlightened or be hypnotized.
Robin Williams, Hollywood, they made a film, What Dreams May Come.
Mhm, mhm.
Hollywood gave a good example of what happened to his wife
In the movie.
in the movie
Mhm.
after she left her body. She was
Mhm.
stuck in a
She,
dark world
yeah,
of her
yeah,
conditioning
yeah.
self.
She literally went to hell because of her beliefs.
But
Because,
she still existed as an eternal
yeah.
being
And in the
in
movie,
hell.
he sacrificed his own freedom to go find her to get her out of hell.
Yeah.
Which talks about the soul, which is the another aspect of truth, which is the soul retrievers. So now, whenever we talk like we're talking now, and you guys are talking like you're talking now, you're soul retrieving. You are retrieving souls when we talk these things.
There was a lady in my church had a daughter that crossed over, and I had a chance to go over on the other side and find her. I retrieved her sitting on a park bench or somewhere like that. I saw her, but she was amongst thousands and thousands of spirit beings, and it was no way you could find her
Mm,
except
mm,
through the seeing keen, sharp vision of the Christ self. I
mm,
saw her. I
mm,
found her.
mm,
I
mm,
found Miss Hilda's daughter on the other side. She did something to promote her departure.
mm,
I found her on the other side amongst thousands, millions of souls and pulled her out
mhm.
and saw her in her true identity. I'm not telling you something. I didn't even pray for this in my physical mind.
Mhm.
I didn't ask for this position in my physical anatomy. My conditioned self did not ask for this. But I wanted to find God. I wanted to find Jesus in my heart. I wanted, and my prayers was granted and request given 50 some years ago when Jesus appeared to me in the room, personally appeared to me and showed me who I really was. It took years for me to understand that he was my true identity. But it took a long time and a long whole line of preaching to find this out. And now I see it.
So I want you guys to type this in. Live from your heart and fulfill your purpose.
And then we're not talking about the physical heart now. We're talking about the heart of the spirit.
Right, right. And when I say heart, I mean that part of you that has good intentions.
Yeah.
Good intentions. Live from that part of you that has good intentions. And if you can be cognizant of when your conditionings is pushing your beliefs off on other people so that you don't harm them.
I talked to a very popular young man in the ministry. His name was Carlton Pearson before he left his body. I was going to invite Carlton Pearson to come to my church and to speak on what he found out in relationship to every man is born again but don't know it
Mm-hmm,
because
mm-hmm,
of the conditioning mind, the
mm-hmm,
ego.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Carlton told me, he said,
mm-hmm.
if I come to your church and people find out about it, they will blackball you. They treated him like a dog
Yeah,
at
yeah,
the very end of this thing
that's true.
because they believed that he was erroneously incorrect,
Erroneously.
erroneously incorrect about everybody being saved and not knowing it.
Yeah. Now we've been on here almost an hour and
Oh,
30
shucks,
minutes,
yeah.
but we realize that we've been on here a while. But thank you guys for staying here with us
Thank you.
for the duration. I pray that it resonated with you. We don't consider ourselves experts. We just bring to you what's in our hearts and how we live in this life, how we navigate in this life, how we cope with this life. We bring that to you. So live from your heart and fulfill your purpose.
Let me share this with you, Miss Jill. Living from the heart fulfills our purpose. But listen to this. There are some people's heart is living through them and they don't even know it. And they are fulfilling their contracts and don't even know it. Their purpose is hid into the mysteries of the eternal heart.
Right.
And they won't see it
Right.
until a certain point of this life over here or over there. One way or the other, Miss Jill, they're going to find out that the heart of Christ is the center for every man when he leaves the body. That's the reason why they can't die after they leave the body. They will not be annihilated because the heart cannot. I'm not talking about the physical thing that pump blood. I'm talking about the part of them that is the true essence that's in the same God class as Jesus was and is in all men.
Yes.
That the book said this, the book said that. I don't care what the book say. When you get over there, you might see a book, but it's going to be you and your heart as the eternal Christ book.
Yes. Now we've got to stop.
All right, we got to
teaching.
stop.
We got to stop teaching. Thank you guys so much for letting us know that it resonated with you. We appreciate that. Want you to take the time now to hit the like button. Do that. That helps. See, when you hit the like button, I want to make sure you realize this. When you hit that like button, it tells the algorithm, the AI, or whatever it is that puts your video out there that this is a video worth looking at. And so when you hit that like button, it causes other people to find us quicker and easier, and it puts us to the top of the list, so that when they're searching for anything, they find us and they'll see us. So hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, do that as well to the YouTube channel, so that you know when we're going live. Of course, most of you already know when we go live, unless we do one that's not scheduled. But it's important that you hit that like button. Please do that, okay?
Thank you.
And if you're on Facebook and you want to share it, or you're on YouTube and you want to share it with someone else that you think it's going to benefit them, then share it. Share it with other people. And we want to bless you, and we thank you. You guys bless us so much. And thank you for your giving, your support to the ministry, and the support to Pastor and myself particularly. And we need that, and we thank you for that. We're still in a place of trying to decide what we're going to do physically with our properties and all of that, but it's working out. We'll be fine. Just thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your support.
I like what Miss Jill just said.
Can we have a Zoom workshop? So much to discuss, learn, and practice.
Yeah, we should. We could.
Yeah, you would like to have one?
Yeah, I'd like to have that.
Okay. I don't have the Zoom. We don't have the Zoom subscription anymore because Pastor and I couldn't afford it anymore. But I think if we can set it up, and I might get with Oliver to see if he can set it up for us, and we can go on there and do it that way. I know he'd help us with that. And so I'll work on that, Jill.
This that you are, again, cannot be removed just because your monkey is up in a tree. This cannot be removed just because your mind is in rebellion against the eternal self.
Jill says she's got Zoom, and she said, if you want to set it up, Jill, we'll do that.
That'd be
come
fine.
To
We'll be glad to.
and we'll work on it that way. Okay, so just be in touch. We'll work on that as soon as we can.
We thank you all for helping us and for the assistance of your eternal Christ self. I speak to the Christ self in every one of you, and I say, I bless you, and I thank you for the blessing of knowing the truth behind and in front of your face, that is accepting Jesus Christ as your all eternal self.
It's a long sentence.
That's a long
sentence. Yeah. He has such long sentences, but they're good. By the time he gets to the end, you've forgotten the beginning. Pastor, you done?
But I'll
You're
quit.
Not done?
I'll quit.
Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, young ladies and young men, and enjoy your day. We'll see you again on Tuesday night at 7. Pastor Norman, give me a thumbs up. Are you going to be with us on Tuesday night? And we usually come on at 7 p.m. We love to have a conversation with you. Then we'll continue this at that time. And we love you. We'll see you soon. Okay? Bye-bye. You want to say bye?
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I was thinking about something. See you on Turnaround.